You know, I've heard people say a life without purpose is not worth living. And I got to tell you, if you are there, if you are down feeling like your shoes are just filled with whale poop, you know, it's like the lowest of the low when you get down in the depths of the ocean and you're just feeling so low and you're feeling like, oh, my life is not worth living. That is absolutely not true. I'm going to share some things with you today that hopefully will help you feel that your life has purpose, has meaning, and I'm going to show you where to find it. Hi, I'm Scott Wilhite, the Record Yourself video coach, and normally in this show we talk about how to record yourself, how to do good lighting, how to do good audio, how to set up a system, a studio to where you can record yourself regularly and often and get your message out there. Well, today I want to address something just in case you are having challenges going up and down, you know, with emotions. I know this year has been extremely hard. I was talking to a woman that I coached just yesterday, and she was talking about how frustrated she is that she can't get out there. She can't be with her family. She can't do the things that she normally wants to. And it's really wearing on her. And I recognized in listening to her that, you know, it's not so much that you can't do these things, it's that she doesn't feel that she has a purpose. She is not, and she doesn't feel like she has the avenue to live that purpose. And I tell you, I used to feel that way too, for other reasons. Uh, I remember I had like this decade of darkness where I was so angry and so frustrated because I felt I had these stories within me that I just couldn't get out. You know, I didn't have the audience for it. I didn't have the money to create these kinds of films. And that's how I thought that, you know, I needed to be able to get my message, my vision out to the world. And I remember just being so angry and volatile. And I did tell my wife at one time, you know, at that time, I worked a corporate job, and at lunchtime, we'd get together Monday, Wednesday, and Friday and play basketball. And I just kind of laughed to her. I said, well, basketball gives me a reason to live. It was kind of true, unfortunately. At that time in my life, I really didn't have something great outside of me that would pull me and would give me that zest for life. And I got to tell you, it was 10 years of darkness. It was frustrating. It was just demoralizing. So, okay, so just a little bit more on my story. Kind of an interesting thing that happened to me is when I quit that job, the last day that I was there, I remember talking to a guy and he had a book under his arm and I was chatting with him and I said, "What's that book?" And he said, "Oh, it's a book on the science of happiness." I was so excited. There was something inside of me that just leapt out. It wanted that. It was yearning for that kind of joy. And I needed to know what it was about. So I quickly ran to the library, to the bookstore to find out about this science of happiness. Well, it turned out positive psychology was a relatively new field, and they had found all of these different things that would trigger happiness in people. And I started studying it and I started living it, and my life changed. And for me, I felt like I needed to get that out to the world, to publish that more. And so I created a book. Actually, can I show you that real quick? Okay. I'm not here selling, I'm here serving. But it's called The 7 Core Skills of Everyday Happiness. You can find that on Amazon. If you are somebody who is not happy, at least part of every day, you're going to want to check it out. It's a game changer idea because instead of looking at happiness as something that happens to you, you realize it's a skill, and a skill that you can bring about anytime. So anyway, that for me was a big life-changing moment because I started to realize I had more power within me. And I tell you, it changed my life. I became happy and joyful. But then I started to look beyond happiness, and beyond happiness is purpose. Okay, so if you are in a place where you are feeling uncomfortable, where you're feeling that dis-ease, you know, of your life is not going right and you maybe don't feel like you have a purpose and you've got that anxiety. For me, I often, anyways, for me, I would tell people that I felt like a goldfish, that had jumped out of its bowl and was flopping around on the white countertop, gasping for the air that it needed to breathe. And that air that I needed was to feel like my life had purpose, had meaning, that there was a reason for my life. Well, that's a good thing if you feel like that. I got to tell you, I know that sounds really weird. I remember years ago I went to my chiropractor, wonderful guy, also named Scott, and I had this horrible pain just right here in the middle of my back. And I told him about that, and he had me lay down on his table, and he starts working on my feet. Hey, doc, problem's right here. And he said, well, yeah, I recognize that, Scott. But he said the body is an entire system. And just because you feel pain in one place doesn't mean that that is where the pain is that doesn't necessarily, that means where the pain is coming from. I mean, you think about a heart attack. You don't feel that pain here. You'll feel that out in your arm. So if you are feeling that discomfort in your life, it's a good thing because it means that there is something inside of you trying to emerge, that you do have purpose, you do have reason. And because you don't feel settled in, it means that you have the opportunity for alignment. You have the opportunity to figure that out and to have purpose and meaning in your life. Okay, so let me share with you a quote. So Viktor Frankl, do you know him? Okay. He wrote Man's Search for Meaning. He was a prisoner in a Nazi concentration camp. He wrote this. He said, life is never made unbearable by circumstances, only by lack of meaning and purpose. Pretty good, right? So if you're feeling your life is unbearable, if you're feeling you can't go on, it's pointing out that there's something wrong. It's pointing out that you're not in proper alignment, that you're not living your purpose. This is good news. Remember, this is good news because it points out something's wrong, and that means that you can do something about it. He also said, one should not search for an abstract meaning of life. Everyone has his own specific vocation or mission in life to carry out, a concrete assignment which demands fulfillment. Therein he cannot be replaced, nor can his life be repeated. Thus, everyone's task is as unique as his specific opportunity to implement it. Isn't that amazing? So your life does have meaning, it does have purpose, and the discomfort that you might be feeling right now just goes to prove that that's there and it's trying to come out. So now what we've got to do is we've got to figure out how to get that out, how to find your purpose and meaning in your life. Okay, so let me share with you a secret. Okay, you like the secrets? You like the shortcuts? Okay, so you want a secret? You want to figure out how to find purpose and meaning in your life? Okay. All right, often your purpose comes in your trials, in your challenges, in your mess, in your scars. If you think about maybe some of the most traumatic experiences that you've had, the things that have caused you the greatest heartache, often if you look there, you're going to find, what do they say, that there's your mess is in your message? No, your message is in your mess. That's where we find out what it is we have to contribute. So for me, I had a decade of darkness where I was just really angry and frustrated because I didn't feel like I had a purpose. Now I'm able to share that with people. I'm able to help pull that out of them, and I'm helping them to share that through video so that they can make a difference in the lives of others. So my greatest challenges have turned out to be the great things that I have to offer. You have the same thing. So here's another thing. As I coach people, I coach them in sharing their message in different ways. So one way I help them do that is if they have what I call heirloom stories. You know, the things that they really want to make sure that their families know. And I guide them with some story coaching before we ever get to filming. And I help them go through some activities and some exercises that'll kind of jostle some memories of some things that they want to share, jostle them loose. Well, what we do with this is I have them look at what is this horrible thing that happened in your life that you totally didn't want to have happen, and yet it did. What is that? And is there a way to turn, anyway, look at that. Look at that scar in your life. And sometimes those are still open wounds. But what are the good things that happened in your life because of that? I did a short film on a woman named Meg Johnson. It's called Falling Up. You can Google it. Amazing film. It's on my YouTube channel also, so you can find it there. But anyway, she was jumping around in Red Rock country back when she was in her early 20s, accidentally jumped off a 40-foot cliff. She became paralyzed, a C7 quadriplegic, and she had to learn what her life was all about. Had she already lived her life? Did her life have purpose and meaning? Well, the interesting thing about her story, and this was what I heard before I ever contacted her and asked her if I could please tell her story, was that she said, you know what, if there was some sort of reset button in life, and I was somehow back on the edge of that cliff looking down, and I had a chance to do it all over again, she said, knowing what I know now, I would willingly jump just to get to where I am today. She found purpose and meaning in her challenges. You can too. So if you want to find out what your message is for the world, look in your challenges, look in your heartache, look in those things that you didn't want to have happen that did have happen. And now that you look back, oh wow, your life is better because of it. And now you can help somebody else. So that's the exciting thing. Once you understand what your message is, then you can turn around, you can help the guy behind you or the gal behind you. You can help others. You can turn around and make this, you can make your mess into your message. You can start contributing. You can have purpose and meaning in your life. Super wonderful. And when you get to that point where you have that clarity, come on back here. I'm happy to help you learn how to share that through video so that you can help others. And you know what? You actually don't have to go away. You can stick with me because all along the way, even though if we're talking lighting and audio and other ways to present yourself, you'll learn some things that will help you fulfill your mission in life. So I hope you like, I hope you subscribe, I hope you join me again for one of these videos. Hey, I hope you liked that episode. We have lots more for you. Don't forget to subscribe, and you can click these other videos for more great shows.